go-go. That's like that's the first movie about go-go.
For real?
A lot of people haven't seen it, like, but it's on YouTube. You can watch it. Oh, that's Mark Two Shop Johnson. He used to have the fastest hands in the city. Fastest hands. All right, I'm Julius. I usually just go by my middle name, Abdulaziz, and this is
Tevin. I go by Tevin, you know.
So before we get to Capital District, tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you guys get to this point?
Well, one thing about Capital District, people need to know that it's veteran owned and veteran run. He was in the military and I was in the military. So us coming together is just like a good thing. That's all I can say.
What branch did you serve in?
Both of us was the Army.
Army, okay.
Yeah.
How many years?
6 years in the Army, 2 tours overseas in Iraq, 1 tour in Korea.
I did 5 years.
Talk to us a little bit about your experience in the military and overseas, and like, did anything from your time serving help you guys to transition into actually building and developing a brand in the business?
Yeah, well, overseas you get to learn, you get to see different cultures. Different cultures dress different ways. You find different styles from different people because you meet guys from New York, you meet guys from Florida, you meet guys from New Orleans, so you can see the way streetwear changes the way people dress from region to region to region. So we just came back to, you know what I'm saying, back here to make something about our culture so we could promote it to everybody else.
I know for me, it's just a lot of free time on your hands. You're in the military, you just out there surfing, looking for what you could find, getting new ideas, taking notes, so when you come home, like, you got everything already written down, so when you can hit the ground running as soon as you get out, you do your time, you come home, and now we 4 years in it. You know what I'm saying?
So you guys, you come home after you serve. What was the motivating factor to get you guys to start Capital District, and how? Because most of the time, we talk to people and there's one person who started a brand, but you guys are a tandem. There's a team of 2 of you. What was the motivating factors for both of you that kind of got you guys to saying, hey, you know what, we need to get this going, and this is how it's going to be?
This is the flyest guy you ever gonna see. I promise you, like, hands down, this whole area, anybody you meet, come across, like, he got me into sneakers, shoes since like 6th grade. Like, it's just everything just comes full circle at the end. Like, he going out looking for Stussy hundreds, this and that, from being overseas. Like, he finds things that's not relevant now, but in the future gonna be real big. So I mean, like, how can you not, you know what I'm saying, take and follow that type of leadership right there?
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the brand. Like, tell us the meaning behind Capital District. What does that mean?
Well, Capital District, like, if you say you go to any post office in this area is going to be labeled as the Capital District. If you go into the post office up the street, you're going to see a sign. This is going to be the Capital District. If you see a stamp on your mail coming in from D.C., Maryland, Virginia, this metropolitan area, it's going to say this is the Capital District. So I wanted to create a brand that was based on the culture of D.C., Maryland, Virginia, combined and put it out there, just to have something so you could promote it out there so people could know, yeah, he from D.C. or he from Maryland, he from Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Something local for us to wear.
So DC has a very rich like streetwear culture, like with shooters and old dads and hobo. And were you influenced at all by like the streetwear culture coming up? And if so, like, how did that impact you? Developing and building the brand.
It started like when I was little. I wore Madness and I wore hobo. Like, we used to go to Southern Avenue to the hobo shop all the time, make a shirt, and go to Madness shop, make a shirt. So I always said, always in my back of my mind, I said, if I have I'm going to make a t-shirt company. Not if I have, I'm going to make a t-shirt company, and I'm going to put stuff out there, because that was what I wore when I was young. So when it came to seeing everybody else do it, I said, you know what, I can do this too. So that's when it came about.
So since you guys started, Has it been hard for you guys? Because there's a lot of streetwear, like I said, it's a big thing in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. You got a lot of brands, a lot of people, with their own companies and clothing lines. Has it been hard for you guys to gain traction?
I mean, I don't want to say you gotta jump out there, but you just can't be scared to fail or succeed in the end. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your plan. You gotta follow it through, whether majority gonna like it or the minority gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, your ideas is your ideas. You know what I'm saying? You never gonna know what's gonna pop until you put it out there, and you never know what type of minority might like it, because that minority might be the majority later on down the line. Be like, nah, I seen or came across such and such, this type of line, or and then future, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen down the line, especially from this area.
Yeah.
Like everything happen overnight.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to maneuver through it's a lot of, to me, I say it's a lot of bullshit you had to maneuver through. Because there's so many brands out there that it's hard to get that momentum to get to the top. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to move through this and this and this and this. It's a lot of, like I say, it's a lot of meaningless stuff that's being put out that doesn't mean anything. Just people throwing this out, throwing this out, and this out. So it's hard to maneuver. You have to maneuver through all these people to gain the audience to like your stuff, to want to buy into your stuff, to want to wear your stuff. So once you maneuver through there, I think it'll be all right. So right now, it's just like, what they say, some movement is better than no movement. So we have a slow movement, but it's slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
So going on, what's this been a year since we've been dealing with this pandemic and this lockdown.
Man.
Like business wise, how has it affected you guys, and what have you guys been doing to kind of like keep things afloat?
I mean, continue to support black businesses. Anywhere, wherever it may be, hair, food, liquor, clothes, shoes, anything. I mean, business always gonna be good because we always gonna have someone to sell to. Like, people always gonna want to wear clothes. People always gonna want to wear something that everybody else don't have. Especially when you traveling, you going somewhere, you want to represent where you from. So you can't just get that anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say you gotta know somebody, but you just gotta be in the culture. I mean, pandemic really been good for real. I mean, I ain't gonna say it hasn't, but everything we put out ultimately gonna sell out. Like, people want it. Like, whether they can't get their size or not, they gonna get it for somebody else. Be like, nah, like, I'm gonna buy this for you. Like, this a gift. And people like, oh, I love, like, where you find this at? Like, for real.
Yeah, because during the pandemic, I was kind of like, man, I'm not putting nothing out because nobody's gonna wear nothing. But when I did put something out, it moved faster than I thought. I didn't even have enough inventory to meet the demand. I said, oh, God, people are still buying stuff during the pandemic. I didn't think of it like that, but it happened.
You sitting at home like, what you gonna do? It's just like in the military. I ain't saying we got free time, but when you just sitting around, what you gonna do? They gonna
shop.
You gonna shop.
People been shopping.
Yeah.
So if it's anything that you all have learned during the pandemic or that you could apply to your business or personal life, what's something that the pandemic has showed you about your brand or your sales personally?
The pandemic has showed me to be consistent. Stay on top of your books. Know where every penny is going out of your business so you can know what you can buy. Like, I went to Bowie State, so I have a degree in marketing. So, and when you're marketing class, you take accounting. So I use my accounting system to track every penny to see exactly where it goes. So during the pandemic, I was stuck on that just to know that I was having income coming in, and I knew what went out and what I brought back in, so I can go to the next step.
So to go back a little bit, right? So I see that skating is a big part of of what you guys do. How much of an influence does that culture and just have on your brand? And how big is that on your brand? The skating aspect.
like the brand, like a lot of people like to call it a skate brand, but I don't call it a skate brand. It's a culture brand. But a lot of us like to skate, so it was this one brand in DC called it was called the Borough, and they used to make the best like DC based stuff. And then they went away. They just stopped making clothing. I was like, dang, where's the Bureau at? Like, we need that. So I said, you know what? Let me make something here and there. So my goal is to make like a board every year about the DC culture and put it out to the skaters in DC down Freedom Path. Not even DC, just DC, Maryland, Virginia, because we all come together down Freedom Path as one. So that's where the skating comes in at.
It's just, and then skating is a universal thing. So it's like you tapping in, like when you make clothes, you want to tap into every single culture. Like everybody's a customer, no matter what you're doing. Like you can't, you basically got to tap into everything, especially in this area, whether it be skating or roller skating, skateboarding, or anything. Like us as black folk, we gonna find something to do even in the pandemic. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't just keep holding us in the house. Like we got to have an outlet of something. It's like something.
So this whole room, and people are gonna be able to see it. This whole room is littered with artifacts from not just DC culture, but just culture in general. Talk about how you intertwine all of these different cultures, because it's different pieces of culture into Capital District.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's reflective in what in the clothes that you guys make.
Yeah. Because it just, I wanted to create a brand based on the culture of DC, Maryland, Virginia. It didn't have to be strictly go-go or strictly skate. It could be anything and everything. So I incorporate music, sports, art, food. Everything is gonna just us. Like, so when you, some of the things you might see, you might not recognize because you might be younger or a little older. But if you ask me, I would explain it to you and you would get it. You would see that this is from here, this is from Chinatown, or this is Mama Gay, or this is such and such boxer, this is Sugar Ray, or this is Lim Bias. I want you to all come together, and maybe it might be a little history lesson or it might not be, but you will learn the things around your area and have more culture. You know what I'm saying? You get some more culture in you. You know what I'm saying? You learn a little bit more about what your father did or your father did or your uncle did.
It definitely will be a history lesson. It's like when you go to a HBCU, like you learn about your black culture. You learn about the culture from which you grew up in your community. That's basically all we try to provide, but on a wider scale for the DMV area. Like it's still a community stretched out over like vast land, basically.
So, talk to me a little bit about how important you think style and garment is to society. Like a lot of times, we always see like athletes being used to represent brands and fashion, and politicians now they're starting to use them more, and like polarizing figures are always used to connect fashion with the people. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys think the important is, and the connection is between like garment and fashion and like society and the people.
The number one connection I think with fashion, with anything, is the t-shirt. The basic t-shirt can be used to, in any platform, to promote anything, to show anything. People put t-shirts on political t-shirts. You have t-shirts against racism. Like the t-shirt is like the number one thing used to promote basically anything. A restaurant might have a t-shirt. A lawyer might have a t-shirt. Nike has a t-shirt. Everybody has a t-shirt. The t-shirt is basically a blank canvas that you can use to promote anything or put a message out there for anything. So basically with fashion and politics, you start with the t-shirt. Just like Bernie Sanders made that t-shirt of him at the inauguration.
Yeah.
That t-shirt was used, all the proceeds of that was used to put back into a foundation, something. So simple things like that. That's how I see it.
So real quick before we close out, I wanna like you guys to get a piece of one of your garments and like tell us a little bit about like the meaning behind it. Alright, so let's get a look at what you got right here.
This was one of the first shirts we put out, along with a Marion Berry, of course. But he could better explain all the letters on here to me,
Okay.
cause it's a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know everything.
I think I know the D. Is that
I'm about to say,
DTLR?
you know a
Yeah.
couple letters.
Yeah.
But
Let me look a little
I'm
bit more.
telling
So I
you,
catch
know
another
a couple
one.
letters on here if you lived in this area for at least a
The
year.
whole shirt, it's like I said, the whole brand is represent the culture of the area. So the whole shirt, I called it city typography. So the whole shirt is different letters from different places we go in DC, Maryland, Virginia. So like you start off with the C. The C is from Ben's Chili Bowl.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You see the A. The A comes from the Howard Theater.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
go
it's a lot.
The P comes from the Public Playhouse in
Ah.
in Bladensburg. And the I comes from Kent Mill Music. The T, that's the T from Stadium Club. The A, where did I get that A from? I forgot where I got that A from. I don't know where that.
I know that L is Lido's.
Yeah, the L is Lido.
DTLI. Then we got Avison Mall right here.
Yeah. And the
I
S,
forgot what the S is.
S comes from Shrimp Boat.
Oh yeah.
The T comes from the Metro Bus. The R comes from Prince and Princesses down Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
The I comes from the Lincoln Theater. The C comes from Shoe City.
Yeah.
And the T, I keep forgetting where the T comes. Yeah, it's a theater uptown.
But you see what I'm saying? Like this the type of
The
you
brilliance.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, like this type of things that we want to put out there. Like so if you wear this at a time, people just gonna be like, oh, it's a regular shirt. But if you know the culture, like you understand, like this is not only places here, but like black owned things and like things that we do.
Yeah, and
Like every day, like we go visit these places all the time. Like these are the people and brands that get our money. You get what I'm saying? Like support your black businesses.
where's the A come from?
So real quick, Julius, I want to go back to something you had said about, you know, you went to Bowie State and you studied business marketing and you accounting.
Mm.
How big do you and important do you think education is? Because a lot of people nowadays, they say, yeah, college is unnecessary and there's no point to get this education. How important was education for you, and you know, and how much did it help you when it came to developing and building your brand?
Yeah, I understand. A lot of people say college is unnecessary. Yeah, it might be unnecessary, but it's certain things within business you're gonna need a college. You might need a college degree to do, because you can have a successful YouTube channel, but if you can't do the accounting, you have to pay somebody to do it, because you don't know when your money coming in and money coming out. So I went to school to learn these little things, and these little things I was in school for. I said, you know what? I'm not going to use these things, but I use them every day on this computer. If I didn't take Accountant 101, Accountant 102, I would never know how to credit an account or debit this account or transfer this money this way or send somebody payroll. So I think education is important, but you don't have to rely on that. And you don't. It's important, but it's important. Yeah, it's important because
like
if you don't know how to do it, you're gonna have to pay somebody else to do it. So you might as well go to school and learn how to do it.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that ain't everybody's mindset, but I mean, school plays a role, and it's all about what role you want it to play. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot, like we hear the stories about people that don't go to school and this and that every day, but it's a million people out here that go to school and get it. But I mean, I'm of the mindset that like you can learn anything you're willing to teach yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of successful people out here with no experience, no, just, you know what I'm saying, that just got out here and taught themselves how to do things. And I'm just I'm just one of those people with that mindset. Like, if whatever I want to do, I can put my mind to it and I can get it done. Mm-hmm. Like, it's 24 hours in a day. If I want something to get done, I'm going to get it done. Like, we literally came this far, so you can't tell me that we can't get anything done. Like, yeah.
So in closing, fellas, what do you want people to know about Capital District, and how do you want Capital District to be interpreted by the people?
I want to be on top. That's all I gotta say. Everybody wants to be on top. If you don't want to be on top, so what are you doing it for? I want to be on top. I want everybody to know that this area is a fashionable area. People don't like to give DC credit for nothing. DC, Maryland, Virginia credit for nothing, and they know we the flyers, we the jiggiest out here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that. Puffy know that. We all know that. Biggie even said it. You know what I'm saying? So we the flyers. People out here, people don't recognize that. Like, I don't want people to, like, you don't have to flock to New York. You don't have to flock to LA. You can come to DC, you can get fresh. You can do what you gotta do and keep it moving. That's how I see it.
I mean, it ain't about the money, the fame, or nothing. It's about, like, is this what you want to do? Like, do you feel like you working at the end of the day? Like, I got ideas that I want to put on these blank canvases. It's t-shirts, jackets, socks, hoodies, this and that. But, I mean, it ain't like my end goal ain't the money, fame. It's like, this is what I like doing. Like, I got ideas that I want to get out there. Like, and it, like, my high is when somebody sees something and I see my thing out there, somebody got it on it, like, oh, I like that. Like, that's all you need at the end of the day. Like, I like that. Like, can I buy that? Like, where you get this from? Like, that's all I want here. It ain't about the money, none of that. It's like somebody like my idea. You get what I'm saying? Like this my idea. I bought this. It's like giving birth to a child. Like this our child. You get what I'm saying? For people to wanna, you know what I'm saying, take your child there, do this with your child, do this and that. You know what I'm saying? It brings a smile on your face, it put a smile on your face and all that. That's all it is at the end of the day.